already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip.
And, Coach, we find ourselves due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Washington Redskins. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Touchdown, defense. Shoot. Switch it.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10. On second down, here's Murray. Going for the deep ball. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker Jordan Hicks. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
At the 46-yard line.
Ready. It's a data. All day, dog. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the safety.
After the turnover, here's Murray. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Give him a couple on the catch. It's second and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So second and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Check.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella, 43 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Let's go.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick, and they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 9. Haskins looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check, 43. Watch the right.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Buda Baker with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. This complete to the tight end Clay. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Murray. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw again on second down. Haskins, and Thomas has it. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Flush to his right. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it with Johnson. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lambert. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. First down, Murray. Over the middle, complete. That's Bird. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A big play there. 53 yards. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Geis with a carry on second down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
It's a gain of 3.
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's the Redskins in possession of the football. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's the Redskins in possession of the football. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. Third down. Here's Haskins. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones, one of the best athletes to ever come out of Rochester, New York, in for the sack.
Brings up 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line.
At their own 41-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
First down, Cardinals.
50's the mark. Let's go, D. Check three.
Johnson. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Alert.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. Past the 20. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. Andy Isabella was the intended target. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Kill.
To throw, it's Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Charles Clay is tight end, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Check 99. Hey, alert 3. Go. Keep wide.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal option right. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Haskins able to find his running back, Geis. It's a gain of 5, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Open man is Michael Thomas. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they can...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Haskins. Flipping left side, and he's got a man. It's Love. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ready. 18 Gator. 3. I'm on. Check. You go tight.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And, boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Less than a yard.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you punt the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
So good field position for the Cardinals as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. That one goes for 24 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Murray now. Flushed out right. And that'll be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Mike 50, Mike 50.
Throwing on first down is Murray. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They get that little extra tackiness.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. And Isabella, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and a route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. The first half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Was trying to get it to Terry McLaurin, but now it'll be 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
See what you got. 35's the mic. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's Haskins to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 49. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Thomas, the intended target.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, 41 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away.
The Redskins take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on 1st down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Haskins. He completes this to Sutton. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is taken in at the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards.
1st down. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Haskins out of the gun. And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Cortland Sutton in the final seconds of the 1st half as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful 1st half of football. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Cardinals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
All day, baby. All day. All day, baby.
And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the 2nd half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the 2nd half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Ready. 18 Gator. Not here.
To throw on 3rd down. Haskins got his man complete over the middle. It's Love. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the post-mortem. You know, this post-game press conference, because the questions are going to come fast and furious about this decision, no matter how the game turns out, right? What were you thinking there? Why? Did you have a certain play call? Were you confident in your defense? Oh, yeah. Why? It's going to keep coming up.
Yeah, no matter the scoreboard, just tough to justify. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throwing on second and long. Murray. That ball complete to Isabella. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Throwing is Murray on third down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And on that last drive, Whitford on fourth turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in? And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal. Shotgun now from Murray. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. From a yard out. And the Cards use the short field to their advantage as they catch.